Okay, we are now live. And that's great, we've got people joining already. Welcome everybody. We'll just give it a few minutes while people start to join. So while you all are joining, I'll go through and start to go through the housekeeping rules. I'll recap on them as well, don't worry. So you're all muted. We've got a lot of people on here tonight, so everyone's muted, but there'll be lots of opportunity for you to ask questions and for us to answer them. It would be really nice if you could introduce yourself quickly on the chat box. Just let us know who you are, which cause you represent, so we can say hi to you. And I just need to tell you that we're going to record this, and we'll send you all the recording by email tomorrow, and that'll have all the useful links in it as well. So my name is Becky. I'm part of the Easy Fundraising team, and I'll be presenting the first half of the slides tonight. And then we've got my colleague Roisin. Want to say hi, Roisin?
Hi everybody, welcome. Delighted to see so many people here this evening. I'm going to be looking after the Q&A in the first part of the presentations. I'll hand over to Becky towards the second half. But if you've got any questions, please feel free to pop them in the Q&A. It's along the top, there's a Q&A box. Feel free to pop in any details there, and we'll do our very best to get back to you tonight.
And my colleague Rena is going to be joining us as well. Do you want to say hi, Rena, and let everyone know what you do?
Hi guys, I manage a team of coaches. Some of you may have spoken to us, and I'm really pleased to be here today and welcome you all. So a quick look to Chris, Bingham RFC. We've got Stuart from Green Acres Church in Oldham. Luke from the, now I'm going to get this pronunciation right, I better, Craig and Tinney Parent Council. Hi to Laura at Fair Share. We've got Sharon at Motor Neurone, East Sussex. We've got Tom at the Rotary Club Dumfries.
Oh, lots of people joining. That's great.
There is. It's lovely.
Yeah, it is. So because we've got so many people here, I mean, we're up to 159 people so far. If you have any questions, ideally, could you pop them in the Q&A box? Just because the chat can sometimes move quite quickly and we might miss a question. If we do get loads and loads of questions in and we can't answer them all, don't worry. We'll be looking at the Q&A transcript tomorrow, and if we've missed any, we'll drop you an email to answer your question. Hopefully, we will cover off everything that you need to know tonight, but bear with us just because there's a lot of people here, so I'll be stopping a couple of times to answer questions, but yeah, feel free to pop any sort of hints and tips and ideas in the chat and questions in the Q&A. So I think people are still joining. We're nearly up to 200 now, which is great. Really nice to see so many of our causes. This is the best part of our job, actually, is talking to causes and finding out what you all do and what makes you tick. So I'm just going to give it another few minutes just because people are still joining. But
Beck, a quick one. Can everyone hear us okay? Someone's asking us if we could increase the volume. So just want to double check that everyone just gives a little, I can hear you all right.
Yeah,
message.
I've turned my volume up.
Yeah.
So everybody can hear. You'll get the link to the recording tomorrow as well. So I'll go through the agenda while a few more people join. So we're going to talk tonight about how Easy Fundraising can help you this year during lockdown, and what's sort of set to possibly be another difficult year for fundraising. So we're going to go through how Easy Fundraising can support your course, kind of why we are perfectly placed to help you with lockdown fundraising. Some tools and ideas on keeping your supporters raising during lockdown. We'll have a quick stop for questions. Then Roisin's going to take over, and she's got some really nice ideas on how you can increase the amount that you raise this year with limited effort, some things that hopefully you may not be aware of, and then some other ways to maximise your donations. A few more questions at the end, and then we'll do a prize draw at the end, and then there'll be a really brief exit poll as well, just so that we can get a few answers from you to check that you found this evening useful. So I'm going to make a start because we are at 7:30 now. So first of all, how Easy Fundraising can support your cause. So why Easy Fundraising is good for lockdown fundraising. So I don't need to tell anybody here tonight what a difficult year we all had last year, you know, for so many reasons. But good causes found it extremely difficult last year. The normal face-to-face fundraising events that you're all used to doing couldn't happen. And a recent survey found that 80% of the causes that were surveyed forecast that they were going to have financial losses in 2021, but also expecting an increase in demand. So those problems that people had with face-to-face fundraising are sort of potentially set to continue into 2021, as we can't all meet. There's going to still be a limit on gatherings, etc., for some time, even when lockdown is lifted. But what 2020 also brought was a huge rise in the number of people online shopping. Now, partly, you know, the shops were shut for a lot of last year, so we actually physically couldn't go into shops. So people turned to online shopping. Lots of retailers found ways to help us with that. So there was lots of click and collect services. So Dunelm were one that springs to mind for me, that their shop was closed, but you could order online and go and collect things. And 87% of UK households in a survey said that they'd shopped online at least once in 2020. And we saw that reflected in the donations raised. Over 4 million was raised by people using the Easy Fundraising platform last year. And we saw the number of people signing up to support causes go up by 26%. And I think that's really key, that just because people can't support you in the normal way, it doesn't mean that people don't want to support you. I spoke recently to a voluntary organisation down in London and on the outskirts of London, and they have a volunteer database that has pre the first lockdown had around 2,000 people on that volunteer database, people that had put their names on the database so that they could be asked to volunteer at different things. In the month following lockdown, that doubled to 4,000 in a month. So people do really want to keep supporting good causes. They are aware that times have been really difficult for good causes. So what this means is, and the rise of online shopping, the fact that people do want to support your cause, is that you can ask them to help you through doing their online shopping through Easy Fundraising instead. So it does fit quite nicely, and it's a nice message to give out to people that if you can't come along to events, we're not holding events, etc., then you can still support us really easily through Easy Fundraising. So how can we do that? How can you keep your supporters raising during lockdown? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through a few different things. I'm going to go to the live site as well and show you a few things on the site that hopefully you'll find useful. So firstly, £5 bonus donations. So every cause has a unique refer a friend cause link. I'm going to go to the live site in a minute. I'm going to show you where that is in case you don't know, but I'll just talk you through what it means. So if a new supporter signs up through your unique referral link, your refer a friend link, then when they reach their first £5, we will double it. So that's a really simple way to raise a little bit more this year. Make sure that you are getting people signing up through your refer a friend link. We've also put together some specific fundraising lockdown tools, and you can see some examples there. And again, I'm going to show you shortly. What we've put these together so that you can actually say to people, please help us. You know, you can keep supporting us through lockdown. We've put a few different social posts, there's newsletters, email copy, website banners, and we are going to be adding more to this regularly. So if I just go to the live site now, just bear with me while I hopefully navigate seamlessly across to the live site. Hopefully one of my colleagues will tell me that they can see that.
All good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So this is an Easy Fundraising homepage. So I'm actually logged in as one of my colleagues, Lucy. Lucy's our insight manager. Some of you might have spoken to Lucy in the past. She conducts surveys, etc., to make sure that we're giving our causes and their supporters the service that they need and deserve. So you might have spoken to Lucy in the past. Lucy raises for her children's school. So I'm logged in as her tonight with her permission, I would just like to say. So you'll be able to sort of see her cause account. So firstly, what I'm going to show you is refer a friend. So you will all have this as a cause admin, you will all have this. So you click on refer a friend and you go to this page. This is your referral bonus link. So use that link to get new supporters signing up, and when they've raised their first £5, we'll match it. It is as simple as that. If you scroll down this page, what you've also got is invite a new cause. So I know that lots of you will not just be involved with one cause. You might have, for example, children at a school and you support the PTA, but your children might also go to play football in a local grassroots team, or they might go to Brownies, or they might go to Scouts. That's just an example. We tend to find that the users of Easy Fundraising, because they're great people, they're often involved with lots of other causes. So if you know another cause that could benefit from using Easy Fundraising, you can also refer them. This is your referral link for them here. And we will match 20% of what they raise in their first 12 months if they sign up through your link. So what this means is it isn't that we take 20% off them and give it to you. They get everything that they raise, but in addition, we will give you 20% of what they raise for that first 12 months. So that's two really simple ways of boosting your cause total. We do have some organisations that they raise hundreds through their referrals every year. I can think of an organisation down in Cornwall. They have a network where they have lots of other organisations causes that they speak to, and they just refer them all the time. So they're helping other causes raise, and they're also getting the benefit of it themselves. So that's one thing to definitely do. Go to your refer a friend page. Now, when I was on the slides, I told you about the lockdown fundraising tools. I'm going to show you where they are now. So if you go up here to promote my cause, and across to here, lockdown fundraising, nice and easy to find. So if you go in here, what we've done is put together various Facebook posts, Twitter, email copy, images, all sorts of things that will help you really let people know that actually this is a way that they can keep on supporting you through the lockdown and beyond as well. Because let's face it, once lockdown ends, there's still going to be lots of people that won't feel comfortable going out to busy high streets. You know, I know, for example, pre-Christmas, when we were able to go shopping again for a little bit, I normally go on a shopping trip with my mum and my daughter pre-Christmas, and we just didn't go. We just didn't feel comfortable doing it. So lots of people are going to still be shopping online this year. So even once lockdown ends, and let's hope that is soon, we're all desperate, aren't we, to get out of lockdown, they will still be shopping online. And people have found the ease and the convenience of it as well. So lots and lots of tools here, lots of images about helping from home, how they can support you easily from home. We've got quick start guides which will help you explain simply to supporters, case studies, even banners for your website if you're a cause that has a website as well. So there's all sorts of things here, well worth you having a good look round. So another thing I will show you is fundraising in 2021. There's another little tab here. And we've also got various posts, etc. here. But what we've also got here is a 2021 calendar. Now, if I click on that to show you what it looks like. So what we've done here is we've put together all the things that we know from our experience people tend to buy at certain times of the year. Now, there are some obvious ones. So we know Valentine's Day, we know Father's Day, etc. But there's also things that you might not be aware of, such as when people are likely to switch their gas or electric, or when people are likely to want to reinsure the car. Roisin's going to talk to you more about this later. But what we've done, we've turned it into a little calendar here. So if you're thinking about messages to get out to your supporters, and you can come here and you can have a little look at all the different things that people might be shopping for at different times of the year. What we've also done is, and this is new today, we've created a little section here called This Month's Messages. So you'll find this fundraising calendar in here as well. But what we've done is we've put together the messages that you need to use each month. So Valentine's Day, household boost, those are the things that people are doing during February typically. So if you just go here, you'll find we've got some Valentine's Day posts ready written for you. All you need to do is copy them, paste them. It's already automatically got your unique link in it. So it's a really simple, easy way for you to get a message out regularly. And that's really the key with Easy Fundraising, is once you've got your supporters signing up, you want to keep reminding them regularly about Easy Fundraising, and about just reminding them that the things that they're buying online anyway, they can raise a donation for. And this, it really is everything that they're buying online. I mean, my colleagues are a little bit tired of my mattress story, but I've been banging on about this for the last couple of weeks, because we needed a new mattress. I realised we haven't had a mattress for about 15 years. It's terrible, isn't it? It's not an everyday purchase by any means, but I thought, oh, I might be able to find an Easy Fundraising retailer, and lo and behold, Neck to Beds, it's £444 we spent. My husband nearly passed out, but it's a £22 donation. So it really is everything that your supporters might be buying online. In the past, I probably would have gone to a bed shop and lay on some of the mattresses. Can't do that at the moment, but what I can do is buy it online and get a donation for my cause at the same time. So loads of different
something Becky actually,
yeah.
So I was going to say, sorry Becky, something that a lot of people do say when we are coaching a lot of the admins is the worry about what should I say and when should I say it, and how often do I tell people to shop online. And I think coaches tend to say that, you know what, if there is a seasonal event, if there is a time of the year, it's a more subtle approach to say, oh, by the way, you're doing this, and as it happens, you'll get a donation. So Valentine's is a prime example of that. You know, just, oh, and we're going to get a donation as well. So it's a nicer, easier way to have that conversation and communicate that out.
Yeah. That's spot on, Rena. You know, it really is that the message is you're shopping online anyway. You're going to be buying these things anyway. So please support us, please help us, because you're already shopping online. So loads and loads of things in here. I would really recommend that you perhaps spend a little bit of time having a look around Promote My Cause. There's so many different things, not just the things I've shown you there. There's all sorts of things. And a really important thing to note here is, so most of you, I think, on this call tonight are admins. So you're the person in charge of your cause. But all of your supporters also have access to Promote My Cause. So it doesn't have to just be your job to get the message out about Easy Fundraising. So perhaps you've got a supporter who is a whiz on social media. They're always on Facebook. Give them the task of perhaps putting a post out once a week or every 2 weeks or that sort of thing. They've all got access to this area. And if they're a supporter of yours, it will automatically be populated with the right cause name and the right cause links. You don't need to worry about that. So spread the load. It doesn't always have to be you. It can be you, but it doesn't have to be. You might have a few different people that you could put in charge of getting the message out regularly and using some of the tools we've provided here. So what I'm going to show you now, if I go back to the homepage, and top tip, if you click on the logo at the top, you'll always go back to your homepage, is, now this is something that people aren't always aware of, is we've got a stats area where you can actually see how your cause is performing in terms of new supporters, new donations, that kind of thing. It's down here. You scroll down. We call it the donuts because they sort of look a bit like donuts, and maybe we spend too much time thinking about donuts each day. I don't know. But on here, you'll be able to really easily see how much you've raised, but more importantly, the activity of your supporters. So if you click here, view a breakdown of your supporter activity. Firstly, what you will see is a little graph. I'll come back to this graph in a minute. But if you scroll down, what you'll see is some little charts that tell you who your top supporters are, who your new supporters are, and also supporters that have never shopped for you. Now, just ignore the fact that you've got test account P here. Again, this is just because it's Lucy's account and she sometimes has to test things. But what you can see here is that Shelley is her top supporter at the moment. Shelley's raised £29. But she's got all of these supporters that signed up in December and November. And just going back up to this chart, you can see that here. Now, what Lucy actually did was she used the Raise More tools and did a big push in her school's newsletter over Christmas to get people signing up and registering, raising with their Christmas shopping. So it's really good that you can easily see who's raising and who isn't raising. You can give a big thank you to the people. If you know Shelley, you could say, well done, Shelley, you're top of our leaderboard. You can check in with your people that are new supporters to check, do they know, have they got enough information to make sure they're using Easy Fundraising? And you've also got your people here who've never shopped. This is a really nice opportunity to perhaps reach out to Laura and say, thank you so much, Laura. I can see you've registered. Brilliant, thanks for doing that. You haven't raised anything yet. Do you understand how it works? Can I show you? Can I help you? Do you need any help? It's a really good opportunity. Key thing to note here is all of the supporters that I've got their names and initial there, they have said that it's okay for that to be shared. You'll see here you've got anonymous. So people have always got the opportunity to tick anonymous if they don't want their name there. You will only ever see the first name and initial. You won't see anything else, and you won't be able to see what they've bought, where they've bought it from. Just key things to note there. It's all GDPR compliant. So if you know some of these supporters, you can have a look and you can sort of chivvy them along, give them a clap on the back. Thanks very much. And what you can also do is, like Lucy, if you've done a little bit of a campaign, a little bit of a push, you can come back here and have a look and go, look at that, it worked. Look at all those new supporters I got. So definitely have a look around here. There's lots of information here. You can also change it by last 7 days, last 30 days. I'm looking at last 12 months at the moment. But if for example, you decided that you were going to do a few days of social posts, you could then have a look last 7 days and you could easily see who signed up to support you. So I know what you're all thinking. That's great. If I know Laura, I can.
Can I just tell you, of all the questions I've had, most of them are about this bit now.
Yeah, I was about to say exactly the same. I
can't believe it. I'm so pleased you're all here, guys, because now this is the bit.
Okay.
So I'll keep all we're all watching.
Okay, well, no pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure. So if you know your supporters, and if you're a small course, you perhaps will. But even if you're a small course, you might not know Laura. Laura might be the sister of one of your main supporters. You might not know Laura. But what we can do is, if you don't know who your supporters are, we can send a message out on your behalf for you. So if you go back to the Easy Fundraising page, homepage here, and I'm going to really slowly show you where it is, because I think sometimes I've whizzed through this in the past. So if you go to My Causes and you go across here to Manage Supporter Communications, this is a relatively new area. We'd be really interested in your feedback on it, actually. What this basically means is you write a message, you only have to do this once, and we will send it out on your behalf safely and securely. So, for example, welcome new supporters. So what Lucy's done here is she's popped a message in here that says, thanks for registering to raise free donations. You can make this message as long or as short as you want. Every time she gets a new supporter, we will send that message out for her. She doesn't need to remember to do it. It's her wording. She's put that in there, so it's her tone of voice, but we'll send that out on her behalf. So every time she gets a new supporter, they get a little welcome message. And this is really key, because people like to know that they're doing a good job for you, that they're helping you. So that's welcome new supporters. You've also got one there that's supporters first donation. So when they've raised their first donation, that's brilliant. They know it works now. You want to give them a little thank you. Brilliant. Thank you for raising that first donation. You are really helping us. You can also put one there that's thank you for donating. So every time somebody raises a donation, you could send them just a little thank you note. You don't have to. You can fill in as many or as few of these as you like. You've also got celebrating success. So when they reach that first £5, if you put a message in there, we can send it out for you. Keep supporters raising. So these are perhaps the people that have stopped raising. We can send a message for you, written by you, when we can see that they've stopped raising. And this is a really nice one here, when your cause gets paid. So hopefully lots and lots of you that are here tonight will know that we send you your payments every 3 months. We send them by BACS, we send them by check, and what we also send you is an email to let you know how much you've raised, how much we're paying you in that quarter. So it is really nice to thank supporters at this point. So Lucy's put a little message in here. You could put, oh, you know, thank you so much. We've just received a payment from Easy Fundraising for £104.72. We're going to use that money to do X, Y, and Z. Thank you so much. Please keep on supporting us. It's really important. People love a thank you, and people love to know that what they're doing is working. So if I would give you one tip tonight from this section, from my section, I would say go in and fill in some messages so that you can make sure your supporters get thanked for what they're doing, get chivied along if perhaps they've stopped raising, and they get to hear about how the money they're raising for you is helping your cause. Hopefully that all makes good sense. So I'm gonna before I leave the live site, is there any questions, ladies, that you would like me to answer that I could demo on?
Yeah, there was actually a really lovely suggestion from Carol Smith. She where we were looking at the stats and all the numbers of 30 days and the 60 days. She says that we made a bit of a competition to see who would be the top of the chart at Christmas. So
Right.
That's always a good one. That works really well. Little prizes, big prizes, bottle of wine, sherry, or football, depending on what type of cause you have. That works really well.
That is a great idea. I mean, we have lots of competitions that we run for you. So you'll see at the moment we've got a big Valentine's competition, but lots of our causes say that they use that little leaderboard section to say who's going to be the top raiser and who can raise the most in the next month, and reward them with a little bit of a prize. So that's a really good tip. Thanks for sharing that. So
top of the charts, yeah. Sorry, got on top of the charts works. Thanks, Mandy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except if I'm the one who is top of the chart.
Well, then you just have to tell them all that they need to do better and knock you off the top and be the top of the charts next time.
Practice what you preach, though. That's a good thing.
Absolutely. So I'm going to pop back to the slides now. So yeah, so just to recap on that, you've got your, I'll just go back there, you've got your refer a friend, your £5 bonus, and don't forget you're referring other causes as well. You've got those fundraising lockdown tools, as well as so many other tools in Promote My Cause. And don't forget, it doesn't have to just be you that does the sharing. Share the load. You know, you're probably the busiest person in your cause. That's what we normally find. The admins are the busy people, the people that get things done, but it doesn't just have to be you. Share that load. Plan your activity, use your fundraising calendar, go to the new section that we've just added today where you can grab fresh new copy and messages and images so that you've always got something new and exciting to say, and fill in those personal messages to thank your supporters, keep them raising. So have we got any questions at the moment before I hand over to the lovely Roisin?
Yes, Sharon was just asking, how do you know which supporters you can't get hold of? I think what she means, or what I've explained, obviously, if this wasn't what you meant, did you mean the supporters who haven't raised anything potentially? How do you know which ones? How do you know how to get to that bit? Who are your supporters that haven't raised?
Well, you've got the we can send a message when it's when they've stopped raising, and you've got your list of people there that have never raised. That was the middle of the three little tables that I showed. Oh no, the final one of the one that I showed you. That's got your list on there. But actually, that's a really good point. That's something we can feed back to our team. Actually, could we have a message for people that have never raised? That's a really good point. So thanks for sharing that. We'll take that as an action and go back to the team on that.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Anything for you, Roisin?
Okay, shall I take over? There are quite a few questions. I'll just leave you with them, Beck, and I will carry on. Bear with me one second. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me just move these. Sorry, guys. And can you see the slides? Oh, no. Try again. Can you see now?
Yeah.
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 Well, that was really brilliant. Thanks, Beck. Everybody who had a question wanted to know that information, so that is brilliant. And a couple of the other questions are around how to actually get people to use it and to do a little bit more. So I'm gonna highlight some areas that maybe you haven't haven't considered before, or just where those bigger donations are that can really boost your funds, and also some of the tools that we've got. Forgive me if I'm going over stuff that you already know. Hopefully this will be new to you, and also maybe give you a little bit of inspiration about what you can do moving forward after this evening. So increasing your donations with limited effort, I mean, that is what we're all about. That's what we want. Save and raise on household bills. Now this is what we're going to talk to you about, the sort of admin that we all have to do. So life, jobs, adult jobs, car insurance, home insurance, mobile phones for teenagers, all of those sort of tasks that we all have to do. They are invariably annually, and those kind of purchases, because they're annually, chances are they've got a large donation attached to them. The retailer really wants your business because they only get it once a year. You as a consumer have all the power. As a new customer, you know, we don't get any loyalty these days in our renewals, do we? My renewal comes and it's always gone up. It's never gone down. And so, you know, I don't renew automatically anymore. I like to start again and go and have a little look at what's the best deal I can get. So insurance on your car, on your home, on your dog, on your travel, and all of your supporters are also doing all of those tasks almost exclusively online these days. Like nobody goes to a broker any longer. So to get people to understand that this is a way that they can really boost your donations, we have some tools in the Promote My Cause area that Becky was showing you earlier. That this is an example of something like that, our shopping list, and it can draw out some of those really key donations that are available. And it can be just the thing that makes somebody think, oh, actually, March is a classic time for car insurance. It's the new registrations, I'm reliably told. I must say, I don't have a new car. But it is a good time to say to people, you know, if you're insuring your car, please check out Easy Fundraising first. You can share the tools on social media or in your emails if that's how you communicate with your supporters. Just as a little example there, a car insurance policy could get you a £37.50 donation, and you don't need many people doing that. So even if you have, and I know that's some of the questions that we've had come in, you've got this sort of core base of sort of loyal supporters that always do everything for you and then haven't quite got the rest going yet. This is the sort of thing that might just inspire them to do that one thing. If you are trying to switch in your energy, I know Becky, I'm not going to interrupt her because I've seen the questions and it's flying in, but I know energy. I know Becky swapped her energy using Easy Fundraising because we are very loyal employees. Yeah. and received, was it a £15 donation, Becky?
It was you switched, so changed to gas and electric. It was just pre-Christmas actually that I did it. So I think I've saved, I think it's something like £127 for the 12 months, and it was a £15 donation.
I mean, that is absolutely brilliant. So not only did she save, she saved on her own bills anyway, which is what we're talking about. As I say, you being the customer, you're in control. But also she was able to raise a donation for her son's school, a big one as well. That's a nice boost. I know Rena as well. Rena, you're in charge of somebody else's insurance, is that right?
Yeah, it is. So it's not just about us doing our domestic insurances and me keeping an eye on my gas electric tariffs, but I actually do this for my mum and for my mother-in-law. Now my mum is great with her laptop when it comes to Facebook and emails and YouTube, but my mother-in-law wouldn't know what to do in terms of switching a computer on. But this way I've actually got my mother-in-law's insurance that needs doing sat on my table right now. And when I do it and I explain to her what I've done and I've raised a donation for my son's under 15 football team, she feels like she's done something more for her grandchildren. And you know, she's overwhelmed. She loves it, and the fact that I feel like I'm a decent daughter-in-law by getting her a decent home insurance as well. So tick, win-win.
Everyone's a winner there, Reams.
Everyone's a winner.
That is brilliant, and it is. People might not even know that purchase could generate such a big donation for you.
Yeah, I've just had Gillian. She says, "Oh, you forgot to mention Breakdown Recover." I recently changed to RAC Breakdown, and they paid £40 donation.
Oh, brilliant! Well done. Oh no, excellent.
Gillian.
That is excellent, brilliant, well done. It is that sort of thing. I needed I've got 3 teenagers. My middle one her phone was up for renewal. I'm certainly not renewing it. So we went to Car Phone Warehouse, and we were able to, at that point, it was a little while ago, we got a £30 donation. Donations change, they switch around, you know, it might not be exactly the amount that I've said to you this evening, but make sure that is something that you're considering, not only just for yourself, also something to shout out to people, talk to people about, that is a way that they can boost your donations, particularly when people say, well, I don't shop online, because, well, you probably do. This is just to give you another little idea of just some of so these sort of purchases, so our breakdown cover, our travel insurance, mobile phones, switching your energy, they're invariably a flat rate. They're more because it's an annual purchase and the retailer really wants your business. And it's usually a flat rate, not the percentage that you get normally when you're shopping for Easy Fundraising. So these kind of purchases are a big boost for your fundraising. And there's loads and loads to choose from. Like I say, you have the power. Make sure you're saving and raising at the same time. Now, the other thing we wanted to talk to you guys about is vacations and staycations. Now, this is a bit tricky at the moment. We know it's difficult, and people aren't traveling and moving around quite as much as we once were. So this is it's just about highlighting it again, just so that you're aware that it's, again, somewhere that it's something that you can consider talking about if it's appropriate for who you're talking to. You might have somebody who's at the end of their tether and they're booking skiing for next year and nothing's going to stop them, and then they might need just a little gentle reminder that purchase could get you a nice big donation through Easy Fundraising, so please check it out. And to consider all of the holiday, so not just if you were perhaps booking a caravan or booking a flight or hiring a car. Maybe your currency might get you a donation, your holiday clothes might get you a donation. Airport parking is a good one. That is, if you're booking an aeroplane flight, which admittedly might be a while, but make sure you check out airport parking. There are loads of those on Easy Fundraising, and it's always a nice way to get a little boost to your funds. Now, on there, you'll see commuting and business travel. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the next slide. But again, in the Promote My Cause area, which everybody has access to, so other people can sort of give this a shout out every now and then as well. This is there. So when you think it's right and when things start to settle a little bit and we start moving around a little bit again, check out this area here. And if anybody just happens to absent-mindedly say to you, we're booking a holiday, make sure they know that they can do it here.
Yeah, it is a really good way to raise quite a lot. I mean, I was meant to be going to Malta last year, like many people. Holidays were cancelled, but I was going with my family of 5 and my elderly parents. We were going to Malta, so I booked it with Home and Away, and we would have got a £72 donation had it not been cancelled. So sad story that I couldn't go, but these things happen. But it just shows that if someone is thinking of going, or even just booking a staycation. I mean, your sister-in-law's booked somewhere recently, hasn't she, Roisin, in this country? So it is worth. If somebody just mentions it, you might not feel comfortable about doing a big campaign about travel, but if somebody happens to mention, I'm thinking of booking, then that's the time to perhaps remind them, oh, you could raise a big donation for us at the same time.
Yeah, excellent advice, Beck. Excellent. I'm not going to mention to your mum and dad that you refer to them as elderly there.
So elderly they wouldn't be able to do a webinar. So
again, travel purchases tend to be a percentage rather than a flat rate, although some of them might be a flat rate. It's always worth checking. But of course, because the value of the purchase is so much higher, then a percentage is going to get you a much bigger donation. So that is just a little visual there, just to give you an idea of some of the retailers that are available, along with 240 others. There are loads and loads. If you're going on holiday, chances are you can book via Easy Fundraising. Now, making fundraising everyone's business. This is something that we think people might not have considered, and we want to help you to be able to make the most of this area of the site. So a business buyer, what I mean by that is somebody who is buying items for their business or for they're employed and they are responsible for buying for business for their employer, or perhaps it might be you. It might be that you have to buy something for your business as an Easy Fundraiser. So we are there are loads and loads of retailers on Easy Fundraising that people use every day, day in, day out, to buy for business. People who buy for business buy far more than your average person, and so it's a really good idea to do a shout out every now and then to say, is there anybody buying for business within our community? Anybody in our network know anybody who buys for business that could be supporting us? Because they may not even know that this is a way that they could be raising endless funds for you effortlessly, costing them absolutely nothing. The price they pay will be exactly the same as it is, as Becky mentioned earlier. There's never any cost, never any change to the value of the purchase that you're going to make. The only difference is the retailer knows that you can via Easy Fundraising, and so they are going to pay a donation back to your account for you. So things to consider: office furniture, technology, office supplies, all of those things, printing, teas and coffees, consumables. I mean, they're vital to keep us going. We are all at home. Easy Fundraising are working remotely at the moment, and our office manager takes very good care of us, and he's at the moment busily buying people new chairs because she wants everybody comfortable. All of those purchases are going through Easy Fundraising. We're big. I'm going to show you a couple of retailers. We're big on Viking, and Viking are huge. They offer loads, really good donations, often good offers, well worth a check. I don't want to call out too many retailers. What I want to do is give you the thought, put the thought in your mind to consider. There's three ways to look at it. Do I buy for business? Is there something that I could be raising a donation on and I hadn't even considered it? Do any of my supporters, so have I got any hairdressers? Have I got any landscape gardeners? Have I got anybody within my community and my network who are buying for business every day and could put it through Easy Fundraising? If they're not raising for anybody else, they might be delighted to be able to raise for you for nothing. And then, is there anybody within the local community who might want to adopt us as their cause of the year, perhaps their charity of the year, and they could put their Easy Fundraising, their business purchases through Easy Fundraising for you? So that's, when I was chair of PTA, we at the local business used to, bless them, every year they would advertise in our flyer, in our fate flyer, summer fate flyer, for the princely sum of £15, I think, for a full page, maybe £10 for a half page. But it was a real boost for us. But that that relationship you've got with that local estate agent or the chip shop, maybe they'd like to take that a little bit further and actually put their business buying through Easy Fundraising for you. So it's something to consider. Business buying, we know that if you've got a business buyer within your supporter network, you're going to do much, much better. Rena, were you talking to somebody who had a business buyer?
Yeah, I was speaking to a new PTA chair that just signed up, and they were in a small village somewhere southwest. And he was a little bit anxious. One of the first things he says, I don't know if this is going to work because there's not a lot of us. And then as I talked him through, I thought, yeah, he gets this. And he was really enthusiastic. And I talked to him about buy for business, but he didn't tell me what he did or anything else. But I thought, oh, he sounded really keen. Let me just check him out. So we had the chat towards the beginning of November, and at the middle of December, he alone had raised £150 through that RS component. I still don't know exactly what they sell, but they sell all bits and bobs. And he was procuring for his place of work £150, just this one dad.
Amazing.
Fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
I do know RS components. If people buy with RS components, invariably they're buying with them every single day. So every day they are getting a donation for the good cause that they support, which is just remarkable. What about you, Becky? I know you've got a good business buyer.
Yeah, I have. It's a cause I was speaking to relatively recently. They have somebody who is a purchasing manager for halls of residence, university halls of residence. So he has to buy all manner of things like light bulbs and cleaning products, cleaners there, and lots of different things. And he was, before he got involved with this cause, he was buying daily from Viking anyway. And then when he realised that he could help his cause, he just spoke to his boss and said, "Is it okay if I raise money for my cause at the same time?" The boss was fine with it because it doesn't cost anything extra or anything like that. And he has raised hundreds in the past year, just this one supporter, and he was doing it anyway. He was already shopping with Viking, and if he genuinely is donation after donation for him every single day, and it completely changed the landscape of the donations for this particular cause. He's by far their biggest raiser, so you only need one business buyer and it really makes a difference.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, I've just had Joanna on, Joanna Roberts, and she says we buy all sorts of tools and materials for our DT department for the Pupils Project. I told my boss about Easy Fundraising, and Screwfix is one example of where he's raised funds for my club.
Ah, brilliant. That's what we like, success stories. This is another thing to consider here, guys, is that if you are potentially claiming something back, don't let that put you off, because you still, everything remains exactly the same. If you're going to claim back a train ticket, for instance, because you've travelled somewhere as part of your work, or maybe you stayed over and you needed accommodation and you claim back a hotel stay, or you know, you're responsible for the teas and coffees and you claim that back. Or you just claim it back as you would normally. The donation would never feature on the receipt. It's a transaction that's sort of done behind the scenes, if you like. It just it goes directly from the retailer to the good cause. It doesn't go to you at all. It goes directly to the good cause that you're supporting. So it just means that it's a way that people can really boost their donations for you. Now, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, in the Promote My Cause area, there are tools to help you with this. And so, and also it might be something that you want to just sit and give a little bit of consideration to. That is it a good idea to shout this out this month? Let's talk about insurance purchases next month, those sorts of things, so that you're focusing your efforts somewhere where you think it's going to have a big boost for you. Because the next thing that happens then is your donations go up. You start to raise much more using Easy Fundraising. You can then share that message to say, guys, look how much money we've raised for nothing, for free money, using Easy Fundraising. Keeps it in people's minds, keeps it on their agenda. It will just promote itself because it's so successful. So that's what you've got to keep thinking. It's worth pushing. It's worth keep going. It's worth keep mentioning it. Focus your efforts on these key areas where you can get good donation boosts. And it doesn't matter then if you've only got a few dedicated few, and that is often the case, that there's a sort of a dedicated few. I mean, if you've got loads, then brilliant. Easy Fundraising works at its best when there's loads of you. But don't be.
Yeah, I think the easiest. Sorry, Roche. The easiest thing I think to do is we've got a lovely little email that you can actually send to, if you've got a committee, if you've got some trustees, if you've got some keen parents, if you've got some of the church members. You just give that email to them, say, go out and find one business person. So even if 10 of them go out and one, even if one person comes back and says, yes, I've got my contact, you've then delegated it, and it's a lot less off your own shoulders to be able to find somebody, that you might not know. You may not know.
Definitely, absolutely. Go wide. Think wide. Don't think just the people you know. Go broad. So out into the community, out into your network. So the other thing we have something coming soon, this great big pink page, we have listened to our good causes. We know this is an area that really does have a positive impact on their fundraising. So we are going to bring you something to help make this much easier for you. Coming soon will be our business pages, which will allow a business to actually register as a cause on Easy Fundraising, but as a business to fundraise for the cause that they want to nominate. So you become their cause of the year, or just their cause, the cause that they fundraise for. And that is coming soon. So watch this space. As soon as it's ready and available, we'll share it with you so that you can make the most of it. So other ways to maximise your donations. Now, these are, you may already know. We've got an app, and we've got some tools to help make Easy Fundraising easy to use, easy for your supporters to use. But the app has been improved. It's really great these days. It's obviously available on iOS and Android, as you'd expect. It's free, of course, as you'd expect. But now you can add your favourites to it. It's such a handy way of raising. People shop on their phones so much more now, shop on mobile devices so much more now. Our data shows that you've got sort of that you casual, quick and easy purchases that people buy just while they're happily watching something on the TV or something, that they often are purchased on mobile. So tools in Promote My Cause get people to get the app on their phone or on their tablets. It explains to them that it's free, ask them to pop it on their front page, tell them to pop all their retailer apps onto the next page along, so that when they open their phone, and somebody asked me this at the very beginning, he said, how can you stop somebody just going straight to Amazon? And this is one extra step. I think it was Stuart who asked me, I can't remember now, but this is just the one extra step. This is what you've got to sort of explain to them, is that all they need to do is open the app, and then they could have added Amazon as their favourite, and then they just click Amazon and now they're in the Amazon app. So it literally is just one extra step. You're asking people to slightly change their behaviour, never asking them for money. And so it's just that mindset that, oh, actually, if you do that one extra step, that gets me a free donation that goes towards whatever it is that's important to your cause. So don't forget that the app is there. There's tools there. Maybe once in a while you just say to yourself, you know what, we'll just put a shout out to everybody to see if everybody's got the app. And then the donation reminder. So this is obviously another key tool, because the other challenge that we have is that people forget, and they forget. That's what happens. And so the donation reminder works on your laptop or your computer. It doesn't work on their mobile devices yet, but watch this space. We're working on it. We know that people want that, they really do. So we're working on that, and we have a team totally dedicated to these tools to make them the best they can possibly be. But the donation reminder is it sits on the toolbar. It's a little just a little reminder. So if you visit a retailer, just by googling, so Google John Lewis and go to John Lewis's website, that little pop-up that you see there will come up and say, do you want to collect a donation? And you of course say, yes I do. If I'm going to buy something, click that. You don't even go to the website. It's as simple as that. You just shop as normal. If you make a purchase, your donation will be added to your account. It also works if you're shopping for an item. It's another question we had a little bit earlier, so I'm just going to shout it out. I think this was Keith. And so if he wanted to know, can you search for an item rather than a store? So perhaps you are buying, my example for this is I was buying AirPods for my teenagers for Christmas. And they are Apple products, and I was looking to see if I could get a bargain, which I couldn't. They're the same price wherever I looked. But because I had the donation reminder on my laptop, when I searched AirPods, the retailers that came up in the results, the first couple are Google sponsored retailers, so they are just always there. But then down a little bit, there comes the easy fundraising retailers. So John Lewis came up, Curry's came up, Apple came up, Argus, all the retailers that stock Apple AirPods came up. And it shows you what the donation is, so that you can actually make your decision based on what's getting you the best donation. So because they were the same price everywhere, John Lewis happened to have a triple donation that week, which I was able to make good use of. And so I purchased from John Lewis there. Didn't have to go to the website, didn't have to do anything, it just popped up. Also, it works the other way. I have the donation reminder added onto my husband's laptop. And he was delighted to have raised a donation when he bought a lamp last week. And he was surprised because he actually didn't have to do anything. He couldn't believe how easy it was to just get that donation to go onto the Brain News group that we fundraise for. So the donation reminder, again, there's tools. The question, I suppose, about its safety, I would say that it is, there's no pop-ups, there's no ads, there's no information there at all. If I'd say give it a try. I'd say to people, give it a try and see what you think, because it's very unobtrusive, and it just makes it so easy. And then also the other thing that happens is you're shopping away at really niche stores. Becky's mattress story is a good one. She absolutely was not expecting that mattress shop to have a donation. But there are over 4,300, maybe 4,400 retailers now on Easy Fundraising. You know, we don't know, and we've been here years, and we don't know who's on there. So anything that you're buying, if you've got the donation reminder on your laptop or your computer, it will just highlight those retailers for you. It might be one that you use all the time. So that is it on the tools. I'm just going to hand back over to Becky now, and she's going to just cover off our key takeaways.
Yeah, absolutely. So 3 things really to do would be, so promote regularly. So make sure you are letting your supporters know that this is an easy, free, simple way that they can keep on supporting you safely from home with all the things that they're buying anyway. So use the tools that we provide in Promote My Cause and try and get the message out regularly. So you don't want to be beating people over the head with it day in, day out, but you can easily mention to people quite regularly that Easy Fundraising is an option for them to keep on supporting you. So have a good look at the tools that we've got, maybe put together a little plan of how and when you're going to communicate with your supporters, and just keep on doing it, because people do forget. We're all really busy. We've all got 1,000,001 things to do in our lives. So just keep reminding them. So think about switching household bills, so talking to your supporters about those, as Roisin said, those boring grown-up purchases that we all have to do anyway. The chances are your supporters will be doing at least one of those things, so gas and electric, or mobiles, or broadband, or insurance. The chances are they're all going to be doing perhaps at least one of those per year. So make sure they know that this is a really good way to support you, and they're probably going to save themselves some money, because, you know, as Roisin said, you get a better deal when you switch, and they can raise some money for you at the same time. Have a think about travel if you feel it's appropriate, or just mention it to people when you already know that they're thinking about traveling, and God willing we'll all be able to travel again this year, and if that's a way that you can boost your donations. And find that business buyer. This is a really key one. Your business buyers can really make a difference to your cause. So do you have someone amongst your supporters that buy for business? Do you as a cause already buy for business? Do you have things that you have to buy? Could be simple as tea and coffee for the staff room. Or do you have a business out in the community that has supported you in the past or would support you? Could you ask them to do their business buying, or not even their business buying? You could simply just ask their if their employees would all, if they've chosen you as their charity of the year, their cause of the year, could their employees all use Easy Fundraising to raise a little bit of extra money for you? And then encourage your supporters to use the app and the donation reminder. You'll find copy and images and assets in Promote My Cause for household bills, travel, business buyers, app, donation reminder, everything we've talked about tonight, you'll find there, easily written for you to just get that message out. So those are the key takeaways. Roisin, could next slide please, Roisin?
Oh, sorry.
You're in charge of the slides at the moment. So I know there's lots of questions, and apologies that we haven't been able to cover all of them. We'll voice over a few of them now. If we haven't answered your question, we'll be downloading the Q&A transcript in the morning, and we'll make sure that everybody gets an answer. So is there any Rena, Roisin, that you'd like to shout up and answer now?
Yes, so Sharon has asked, if I have an ongoing direct debit with RAC already, is there a way I can add Easy Fundraising? Does anyone want to take that? Do you want to take that? I don't mind. What was that?
You want to take that one?
Yeah. Sharon, the big donations you get are the annual events when you are taking on a new contract. So when your RAC contract comes to an end at the end of the year, when you're taking a brand new contract out, that's when you'll be entitled to a donation. So if you've got ongoing sort of, the gas electric bills that you pay by direct debit, that doesn't qualify for a donation. But if you're taking a new contract out, for example, with a different supply for your gas electric, that's when you get a nice lump sum donation.
Yeah, and that's the reason that they do it as a lump sum donation, is because when you make a purchase, say with eBay, they know exactly how much you've spent, but your monthly contract charges for your mobile or your utilities might change from month to month, so they can't give you a percentage of what you're spending each month, because they don't know what that will be. So that's why they'll give you a much larger flat one-off amount instead. Hopefully that makes sense, but definitely look at going to a new provider when your contract comes to an end for any of those things, because you'll get your better deal and you'll get your donation at the same time.
Just on that, guys, we have had a question from Andrew, just asking if you make the transaction over the phone. So that's another one, just whilst we're on that topic. But no, the transaction has to be online, has to be via Easy Fundraising and the retailer, for them to be able to track it, for them to know who you are and the good cause that you support. So yes, All transactions must be online. Anything over the phone, unfortunately, won't attract a donation.
I've had a few questions about whether we can provide ready written wording in the supporter messages instead of you having to write your own ones. So that's a really good idea. So we'll pass that back to the marketing team so we can have a look at doing that for you.
Let's have a little look. I'm just having a scan, see if there's anything else. If we use a particular supplier, how can we get the supplier to be part of Easy Fundraising? Well, we would love to have them. But if you want to recommend a retailer, just get in touch with our support team. Their details are at the end of this slide, at the end of this presentation. Let them know, and we will certainly reach out to them. We work through affiliate networks, so it isn't as simple as just actually a retailer to Easy Fundraising. But if we possibly can, if they can be set up so that they can raise donations when you make your purchases, we'll do our very best to get them.
Claire's asked if there are pre-created emails and messages about business to get the message out. Yeah, absolutely. If you go to Promote My Cause and look down the menu on the left-hand side, you will see that there's a section for buying for business.
It's almost right down the bottom of the buy for business at the moment, but it's at the very bottom of the list, almost in that Promote My Cause area.
I also had a question about somebody would like to see where the supporter communications area is, and also the refer a friend and the stats as well. So I'm just going to share my screen so I can quickly show you all of those things. So just bear with me. Hopefully you can all see my screen again. So refer a friend is here. So once you've logged in as the admin, you'll see this here, refer a friend, as a supporter as well, actually. So you click there, and then you refer a friend. Your donuts, your stats donuts, again, on your homepage. Sorry, if you just scroll down, you'll see them here, and then you click view a breakdown of your supporter activity. And then you can change it. But I had a couple of questions about people asking whether it's an all-time amount, or I was looking at last 12 months, but if you see here, you can change it to last 7 days. So who's the top raiser in the last 7 days, last 30 days, last 90 days. And then lastly, supporter communication. So go to My Causes at the top here, so next to Shop to Raise, and then just go across here to this third column here, and it's in there, Manage Supporter Communications.
Could I get you to show something else while you're there as well?
Yeah, of course.
Could you just show call settings?
Of course,
yeah. Georgia is just asking where you can see what amount and when it has been paid out.
Yeah.
So just
here to account.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, it's and then down to well, you've got all these different things here. If you go into your account summary, you've got all of this information here. And sorry, Roisin, where would you like me to go? Into
just to call settings. So if you go manage your account,
okay.
And then if you can see here, call settings.
Yeah.
So it's just here, this is the area where you'll be able to actually manage your calls. So you can see view call statements will tell you what payments have been made in the past. View calls transaction summary, it's an area that is much improved. It's just being launched now, and that will give you a good indication of what stage, what status the donation is in. So whether or not it's pending, which means we're waiting for the retailer to validate it, whether it's confirmed, which means the retailer have said yes, that purchase is valid and will pay the donation. And I think the next status is paid. And that is when it's been on a statement for you, it will turn to paid. So you'll know that you've actually had it. And so consequently, you can see the ones that you're waiting on.
I had a couple of people ask about if they wanted to change their payment details as well. So that's here. So go. I'm not going to click on it because it will be Lucy's payment details, but change calls payment details. You can go in there and you can change from backs to check or vice versa, or you can amend them if you're the admin. So only the admin will have access to this section here. So yeah, you don't need to worry about supporters seeing any of this. It's only you as an admin that will see that.
There you go. That takes us to exactly 8:30.
Okay, so I'm just gonna have to flick through these few slides now to get to the end, because I've stayed on the other slide, so just bear with me. Oh, getting there slowly. So what I'm going to do shortly is I'm going to put a poll up. But before we do that, we have our prize draw.
You're still on the live site there, Beck.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. There, let me go back. There we go. Finally got there. Have you got my slides now or not?
Yes.
Perfect.
Sure.
So prize draw. So everyone that's attended tonight, we've Rena has put them all in a draw and has randomised them and is going to pick out one lucky winner to win a donation for their cause this evening. Rena, would you like
to spare me a second. Oh, let me write a name down. Her name is Rowan Inslee. So congratulations, Rowan.
Congratulations.
Better write that down.
We will be in touch tomorrow to get your cause donation to you. So well done. I'm aware that there are questions we haven't answered yet. We just haven't had
Rowan, I just saw Rowan pop up. Yippee!
Yippee!
Thank you. So yeah, I'm aware we haven't answered everyone's questions tonight just because there's been so many. It's been so lovely to have over 250 of you here tonight. So if we'll come back to you and answer your questions, but if you think of any of the questions after this webinar, then please contact our support team, support@easyfundraising.org.uk. Rena's part of the support team. She'll be there helping along with the coaches and the rest of the customer support team, and we'll answer any questions that you have. So I'm going to put up the poll now, and then hold on, there you go. So the webinar's at an end now, so you are free to go, but if you wouldn't mind quickly answering 3 questions for us at the end, it's just so that we know whether you found this evening useful, and we're looking to do more webinars over the year, so it would be nice to know what frequency, whether you'd be interested in attending again. So please just if you don't mind, it would really help us improve our service. And I just wanted to say thank you very much for coming along tonight. I hope you found it useful, and any questions, give us a shout.
Thanks everybody, it was brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah, really nice to see so many of you here. So I'm just going to leave the poll running for a minute or two while people answer, but I can already see that people are finding it useful, so that's good to know. Have we got any other questions that need answering?
I think I've answered most of them correctly.
Let's have a look.
Messages.
If my course signed up for gift aid, how does this affect the donation? Gift aid not available on donations at the moment, on shopping donations. It is something that we hope to be able to offer on direct donations in the future. So hopefully gift aid would be applicable on those sort of donations. But at the moment, donations are not available on shopping donations for you.
I had a couple of people asking about Amazon as well on the donation reminder. Amazon don't work with donation reminder toolbar technology, so that's not just us. They don't work with any toolbar technology. So if you want to raise with Amazon, then through the website or through the app. Okay, I'm going to close the poll now. So thank you very much, everybody, for taking the time to answer. And thank you very much, everybody, for coming along this evening. And we will be in touch to answer your questions shortly. So I'm going to end the webinar now. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Happy fundraising.
Bye all.